you're wondering why I'm whispering, it's because my little boy is asleep next door, so I don't want to be too loud. But I have done a video and I've needed to do this intro for the last couple of weeks. If you're wondering why I look a bit of a hot mess, probably not even a hot mess, just a mess. It's because it's 9 o'clock on Sunday night. It's been a really long week. There's been a ton of weddings this week, makeup wise. I've been doing a load of late nights in the shop. It's been crazy busy, but I've just had to do this intro very quickly. So this video is about Makeup Revolution. I actually went out and purchased all of the products myself. I think it all came to about £75, but I wanted to show you that you don't have to have really expensive makeup. You can do makeup on a budget. So it's kind of try and test. Although I have used some of the products myself beforehand, it's not like a first impressions or anything. I always like to try it before, just so I can really give you guys a good review on what I think of the product. I will go through a few in a moment before I get into the video. As always, I have no filters on my editing software. It is literally what you see is what you get. The lighting that I use is 2 soft boxes and a ring light. We don't do any extra exposure or anything like that. It is just, we take it from the camera, we put it onto the editing software. Obviously we cut out clips that we don't need, but that is it. We don't mess around with anything. It's just so that you can kind of get a feel for real skin, real people, real makeup. There's no filters or anything, it's just not my bag. In this video we do have the gorgeous Adele. I have to remember her name because I always call her Amber. It's just one of my things. I never really remember people's names or my clients' names. But yeah, the lovely Adele has taken her time out to do this video for me. She is absolutely stunning. So she has asked me to leave the comments open so that you guys can comment. But obviously, please, she has done the video out of her own kindness, and I would like it if you could be nice. So yeah, let's get into some of the products. So I am wearing a few on my face. Like I said, it's been a really long day, so I've hardly got any makeup on. I have literally just whacked on some mascara, and as you can see, I've even got concealer lips because I haven't even put any lipstick on. But hey, this is real life, and that's okay. Makeup Revolution, it is a high street brand, very affordable, and they have now gone into a pro range, which I thought I would try and test. Like I said, some of it I've tested already and I love. Some of them are a little bit, you know, they're okay. So basically, products here that I'm going to quickly go through. I'm not going to go through everyone because I do, sorry, it's all in front of me here. The main product I did get was the Earth and Stone palette. This is absolutely beautiful, and as you can see, it comes with, I'll take that off, that's all the names. It comes in this gorgeous array of colours. Some are metallic, some are matte, some have got that chrome effect. Really gorgeous shadows. Some, like these metallic ones, I would put on with your finger. I do explain that in the video, just because if you put it on with a brush, there is a lot of fallout, which I do find with some of the Makeup Revolution eyeshadows. But if you do watch my videos, I always do my eyes first. So a really stunning palette, really gorgeous, and easy to blend and things like that. Some are a little bit harder to blend, but actually for the price, gorgeous, beautiful. Next up is the Revolution Pressed Finishing Powder. I actually have this in the loose. I do prefer the loose powder. This I just find is probably exactly the same, it's just pressed, but I do find I have more control over the loose powder rather than this one. I just find it cakes up a little bit more. It does have a little bit of flashback if you're using flash photography, but you know, it's still a great powder nonetheless. The Pore Blur Primer, absolutely gorgeous. I did use the wrong primer on Adele. I should have used more of an illuminating one. She had quite a bit of dry skin around the nose area, but I thought I'd just use it for the sake of this video. It does remind me a lot of the Benefit Professional. So a really great primer. Just great for people with bigger pores like myself, who's oilier, and it does kind of blur out those imperfections. Another fantastic product is the Revolution Pro Foundation Drops. This is probably one of my most used drugstore foundations for myself because it's pigmented but not too heavy or too matte. It's still got a matte finish, although you do have to powder probably halfway through the day if you've got time, just because it can be a bit on the oilier side. But it's a really gorgeous foundation, really pigmented, and it does cover quite a lot, but still gives your skin that skin effect without covering everything up and making everything look so matte and blank. Lip glosses, these are the Pro Supreme Lip Gloss Pigment in the colour Turnabout. I'm actually going to buy some more of these. These are really, really lovely. This one has a lot of pigment, still really glossy, not sticky, really, really lovely. Definitely going to be buying more. Absolutely love, love, love. The Revolution Pro Matte Fix Oil Control Fix and Spray. Not sure on this. I don't know if it's worth the money. If I were to actually go and buy a high street fix and spray, I've always got this one on the go just because it's on my table, and it's the Insta Fix and Go, and that's by Rimmel. It's a little bit more expensive, but I just find it really, really good. The waterproof mascara, great mascara, little bit clumpy, you do have to comb it out, but it is long wearing. I have recommended a few of this to my clients because they do ask what can I use for a high street mascara, and they love it. Absolutely brilliant. Fast Base Concealer, not a lover. Great as a primer. When you powder it down, it's absolutely fine, conceals everything. I just find with Revolution concealers, they are very, very heavy and they crease like nobody's business. I'll keep using this on myself as just an eye primer, but an actual concealer I don't like. The next thing I got was the blush palette in the Hot and Spice. Gorgeous palette. Do prefer, which I don't have here, it's the pinkier one. These are really gorgeous shades. I just prefer a pinkier blush. That's just my opinion. But these blushes are really good. They are very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. On Amber, I think I used number 3. They don't have names, they just have numbers. This is number 3, actually gorgeous. And I did use a little bit of the highlight. So yeah, really inexpensive, really great if you're just starting out and doing a new kit. So that is pretty much it for the products. Like I said, give Adele some love. She is just gorgeous and we love her. And again, remember, we don't use any filters. It's just not our thing. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you guys very soon, hopefully looking a little bit more alive. So I'm going to go and have a bath, wash my hair and go to bed because I need it. On that note, see you soon. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye. So guys, I am starting with the Fast Base Concealer as a primer, and I am taking this all over the lid just to conceal any dark circles, or sorry, any darkness across the eyelid that Adele may have. As a concealer, I didn't find this too great just because I feel like it creases. I do feel like Revolution cater for a lot of the younger generation, so anything above 30, it does seem to kind of crease and crinkle a little bit. So, you know, it just needs to be a bit more nourishing, I do feel. However, as a base for eyeshadow is absolutely fine. So yeah, I've just taken this all over the eyelid and then just kind of powdered it down just to make sure that our first eyeshadow lays down nicely. And the first colour that I'm using is the contour shade from the Sculpt and Glow palette. I just didn't feel that there was a transition shade in the palette that I'm going to use it. I will come to. So I'm just taking the contour shade and just putting that into the crease of the eye. Nice fluffy motions, circular motions, just to really blow this look out. I just wanted to go for a really smoky look. And then I do take a clean blending brush and I'm just buffing out those edges. So this is an absolutely gorgeous palette. I'm really, really pleased with it. This is the Earth and Stone palette, and I'm taking that colour Lagoon on the same fluffy brush, and I'm just taking that into the lower portion of the crease and just to deepen that colour. And then I'm just taking the colour Timber. This is a matte warm shade, warm brown shade, and I'm just taking that on a condensed brush, and I'm taking that on the outer inner corner and through the crease. As you can see, I am not being precise about this at all. I am going to go back in with my blending brush just to try and blend everything together. I'm not too precise when it comes to makeup. I just think something that's more blended and blown out looks a lot sexier and a lot more natural and worn in. As you can see, I have left the middle portion of the eye because I will go back in to another colour in just a second, which is called Majesty. This is a gorgeous gold chrome shade. Not too great if you put it on with a brush, but absolutely stunning if you press it in with your finger. It just picks up better and gives you a better colour payoff. And then I just wanted to use the colour Ore just over the top, which is more of a bronzy, which it does have a bit of a pink shift to it, just over the top, and again blended that in with the same brush. Then I'm just taking the eyeliner, which is actually the eyebrow pencil. In my Superdrug, I just couldn't find a kohl pencil that Revolution did, so you know, we had to make it work, and I just used the eyebrow pencil across the base of the eyelash, and then I went in with the black shadow from the palette, sprayed it with some fixing spray, and used this as an eyeliner, which actually most of the time I do anyway, because I just feel like it's not so precise, and it gives it that lovely smoky worn-in look. So I just pressed this into the base of the lash line, and then I went in with the waterproof Revolution mascara. I've got the normal version of this, absolutely brilliant, and I have told quite a few people about it and they love it, but everyone says it is a little bit clumpy, so I take off the excess first. What's ever left on my brush, I then go back in with a couple of coats, and then I do get a spoolie and just go through the lashes just to make sure that the clumps are taken out even further. But I do quite a few layers, and then you've just got a lovely separated lash without the clumpiness. Next, as you always know in my videos, I always do the eyes first, so any fallout, which, you know, this eyeshadow did create a bit of fallout, but that's fine, so I wipe it away. And then I just started the base with a bit of the matte fix, and then I went in with the Pore Blur primer, very, very similar to the Professional, Benefit Professional. I just felt like this was the wrong primer for Adele, only because she's got a drier skin, and I just feel this is good for people with, like myself, who's got bigger pores and oilier skin. But I just used it for the sake of the video. A really, really good primer actually. I really like it. Just not great for Adele because she just needs something a bit more illuminating. So then I do go back in to more mascara, only because off camera I did put on some lashes, and these were just the little individual ones that I just put on the edge. Adele's got gorgeous lashes anyway. I just wanted to flutter it out at the outer corner, and then I just go back in with a little bit of mascara and kind of squeeze them together so you don't know whose is whose, if that makes any sense. So going back into the skin, Revolution Pro do the foundation drops, and I have to say this is my best foundation for drugstore, only because I just find a lot of them always cater again for the younger skin that's very mattifying, very drying and very cakey. These foundation drops have a really, really good colour range, so many colours, and they just make your skin look like skin still, so there's still really good coverage, but it really moves and works with your skin. So I'm just buffing it in with a buffing brush, and then I do go back in with a Real Techniques sponge, and I'm just kind of pressing that in to really lock in that colour, and so it's not too cakey or anything else. Next I'm going with the concealer. It was absolutely fine for Adele. She does have a a little bit of discoloration under the eyes, so I'm just taking that onto the inner corner. But because knowing that I've tried it out before and I know it does crease, I didn't want to take it any further than that, so I will kind of blend out very little product towards the end of the eye. And then I just went back in with my sponge to really blend this out. And then with the Revolution Pro powder, this is the pressed finishing powder, and I've got the loose powder of this, which to me I find better. It's probably exactly the same product, just one's pressed and one's loose, but I just find I had a bit more control with the loose powder. A little goes a long way. This does have a little bit of flashback when using flash photography, but a really good powder nonetheless. It just, I guess, depends on what you like, whether it's pressed or loose. So going back to that Sculpt and Glow palette, I'm going to use the contour shade, and I love this palette. I think for High Street they've really cracked it. So a lot of contour shades in the High Street are very muddy or too dark, but I think they've really done well with this one. It's a really good tone, and just, yeah, a really good all-rounder, and for the price I absolutely love it. So I'm just taking this on a 138 by MAC, and I'm just putting this on the backs of the cheeks to kind of sculpt the face, and then I'm just warming it up in the regular places. And then I'm going in with the Blush Hot Spice palette in the colour 3, and I'm just putting this on the apples of the cheek. I felt like I put a little bit too much on, so I just did take my sponge, and whatever's left on my sponge I did kind of dampen down that colour a little bit. And then I went back in with the Sculpt and Glow palette, and I just used the highlighter shade, which I do buff in really well. I do find with powdered highlights, if you really buff them in, it kind of cracks the pigment almost and really makes that shine, kind of give you that inner glow. So then I went back into the eyes, and I just wanted to try and use every colour so that you could see it. So I used this gorgeous green shade on the bottom lash line in the colour Turf, and to really amplify that colour I took the fixing spray once again on a small pencil brush, dipped it into the colour and put it on the lower lash line. And then I did take the colour Ground and just buffed out those edges just to tie in the top and the bottom lash together. So I took the colour Sand and I put this into the inner corner. I didn't want a regular highlighter shade, but I did feel like it was a little bit too warm and a little bit too dark. So I took Barely There and I just popped that on to the top. And I think it looked really lovely. It all linked in together and it really gave a gorgeous shimmery effect. Really love this palette. I will definitely be using it again. And then, as you can see, Adele has got the most gorgeous eyebrows. So, and I have warned her that she shouldn't do anything to them. And I just took the Revolution Pro Clear Brow Gel, really brushed in that gel into the hairs. And then whilst that was drying, I just took that brow pencil again and popped it into the waterline. And then I've just gone back over with the colour Black powder from the eyeshadow palette and sealed that in. And then I've just taken the mascara and given it a quick kind of coat on the bottom lashes. Going back to that eyebrows, I used to love these eyebrow pencils. I don't know why. I just find now that they are really warm and great for the price. I mean, £3, and they are really a fine nib to the pencil, but just that little bit too warm for me. So I don't think I'll be buying these again. But if you are of the warmer complexion or warmer tone, then absolutely perfect. And then I just go back in with the clear brow gel and just kind of set everything back in place. Couldn't find a lip pencil by Revolution, so I did the next best thing, which was MUA, and it was £1, and it's a lip liner in the colour Caramel, Nougat or Nugget, whatever you want to say. And I just put this around the lip line, and then I went in with the Pro Supreme lip gloss pigment in the colour Turnabout, which I have to say I love these. They are not sticky, they are really pigmented, absolutely gorgeous and really inexpensive, and I would definitely be buying a few more colours because I adore them. And then I go back in with the Hot Spice palette just because I wanted to see what the highlighter was like in there, and I loved it. And that is pretty much it, guys. I really hope you liked this tutorial. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Until then, I will see you soon. Bye. Maybe not so scary.